Angeles, Hi.
Other action figures each sold separately.
Record the purr.
Jimmy, get the door. It must be Cousin Willie. Okay. Hi. What's up?
Ah, there we go. Something chill to watch. The following video is rated R and is intended for an adult audience. So if you're under 18, take a fucking hike, eh? As this video may contain adult themes and situations, strong language and opinions, good and bad advice, cannabis cultivation and consumption. So as long as you're a responsible adult, kick back, spark one up, and enjoy the show.
And works.
Hi everybody, Cannabeard Grows here. How the heck are you doing? Welcome to Friday Night Gardening. This is what's growing on and all that jazz. Oh, today have we got some things to discuss. Oh my goodness. Exciting, scary, and all of everything in between. For starters, you can see an absolute friggin' explosion has happened since last week. I want to go over a few things here and explain why it's blown up so big. Some of you probably know, and just sort of we're just gonna go over a few things for sure. Also, I think I should just pull this Band-Aid off right off the bat. I found some spider mites. Or something. It might have been just a spider. I can't guarantee that it was spider mites, but it was one of those coated webbings. Those webbings that were like super like a blanket. That tells me spider mites. Now, I didn't find any on the cannabis. That's the good news. The good news is I didn't find this on the cannabis. You know where I found it? I found it on the frickin' power supply. Right here, right up against the wall, right where my hand is right now, is the power supply for this MARSHYDRO Fc8000 unit. This thing's an absolute monster. More about that in a few minutes. But I found some webbing on the top of that. So, I did two things. I went and used the actual really bad chemical knockdown super garden thing here. It says it's good for all sorts of this, that, and the other. It talks about mites, this, thrips, that, this, that, frickin' boop, boop, boop. There's a big list of frickin' bugs. I didn't spray the plants with this. I just sprayed that corner. I sprayed in some of the corners. It probably might have gotten on the plants a little bit, but I did not spray the plants directly with this. I sprayed the corners behind things. I got up there. I cleaned the webs. I sprayed it. I frickin' did that. And then I went and used the fogger right here, the can of fogger with some Dr. Zymes, some pretty strong Dr. Zymes. And that's why the fan keeps kicking on. The humidity is rised up in here pretty good because I gave it a good soak in a couple hours ago and just hosed it all down with some Dr. Zymes. Dr. Zymes is a citric acid and other enzyme sort of spray or whatever. You can soak, spray, whatever. It's a liquid. And in spraying it, you can spray it all the way through flower, apparently, and it doesn't really have much effect. I mean, if you're soaking your plant, like dunking it in there, you might want to rinse your plants when you're done. I've done videos on washing plants as well, but at any rate, I sprayed all these down and did a really good investigation to see if I could see any of these bugs in my plants. And I'm happy to report nothing on the cannabis. However, that marigold that I had in there had a little canopy. There was some bugs on that canopy of the marigolds. Had some of the netting on it. And I took a really good look in here and I found nothing else. Again, I sprayed the living shit out of this place and I'll keep the Dr. Zymes flowing every couple of days for the next bit just to make sure nothing kicks back up. I might have to spray the soil a little bit just to make sure that top layer of soil isn't housing anything. But that aside, everything is frickin' growing super frickin' awesome. I've had to move the oscillating fan up here so it's getting the top, and I've got another small oscillating fan sitting right here on top of the brain box, sort of blowing underskirt underneath where all the tops of the pots, sort of blowing along the tops of the pots like that. And then I got this one blowing on the top of the plants. I've also had to do some major low stress training in the past week because things were growing crazy here. I'll get into it in a second. But first, today's episode is brought to you in part by MARSHYDRO. MARSHYDRO has been a great sponsor of the show. I've been using their lights for, God, like 5 years now. It's been a long time since I've been using MARSHYDRO lights, and I have no intention on choosing anything but it. Love this fan, love the lights, love the ventilation, love the tints. If you too want to fall in love with MARSHYDRO, use my name as a code. Save yourself a couple of bucks off of your order. Thank you very much, MARSHYDRO. Speaking of which, not speaking of which, I think it's dab time. What do you think? Let's smoke out these bugs by using having a big old fat dab here. How y'all doing? Say hi in chat there. Greetings from Finland. Greetings. You know what? You know MARSHYDRO, what blows my mind about them? They're probably the largest OG company that's still around. MARSHYDRO has been around since the very beginning. The only other companies that can even come close to trying to compete with their epicness is stuff like AC Infinity, Spider Farmer, and that's about it. Those are about the only two competitors that they really have, honestly. I mean, there's other brands out there that make lights and stuff, but nobody else does the whole shebang like Mars does. Mars is one of the OGs. Before Spider Farmer was around, there was a company called MICROSCOPE, and MICROSCOPE used to steal MARSHYDRO's frickin' designs and try to copy them. Whatever MARSHYDRO would do, a couple months later, MICROSCOPE would do a very similar copy of it. And MICROSCOPE eventually formed and merged with another company and rebranded as Spider Farmer. I'm sure a lot of you might know that. Maybe you don't. If you didn't, you learned something. But yes, MARSHYDRO is probably one of the oldest OG companies that's still around, still producing good stuff. And yeah. So today we're going to smoke on, I don't got much of it left. I'm pretty low. But this is the CBD cheese that I grew in this very room last grow. Oh my God, it's so good though. Oh my. Oh, good golly. That's a count. There we go. Okay, so I want to talk about why this explosion happened. Then we'll get in and we'll take a good look at what's going on. Or what's growing on. Am I right? So, I'm new to water culture. Water culture, is that the right way to say it? I guess. Water as your, I don't want to say medium, because I am using COCO in here. So, let's backtrack a second here. So, for anybody that's not been following all of the episodes here, I'm using a brand new thing called an AIRCUBE system. I'm really in love with this system here. I can probably... There you go. These pots right here are connected to this, which is all connected to this. So there's a giant reservoir full of water that I keep pH'd and the parts per million at what I want using Emerald Harvest 2-part system. So that's what we're using. And this last week, I had a deficiency. I was asking the chat and everything, what went wrong? What did I do wrong? Why are they showing me this sign of deficiency? And that's one of the absolute joys about using a water system is you can fix things instantly. You can change them, whereas with soil, it's really difficult to start changing something if you've got something way out of whack. So, anyway, everybody stated that two things were happening. One, it looked like a bit of a potential CalMag deficiency, but more importantly, they were hungry. They just wanted more nutrients. It wasn't necessarily a major lack of anything in particular. It was just they wanted more of everything. I asked everybody what my parts per million should be. I use this thing right here called a Trenchon from Blue Labs. This thing here, you stick it in the water, and then the meter tells you how many parts per million your water is at. I'll tell you what my parts per million are at right now. $800. We're at it's just bouncing right at 800 there, folks. So 800 is probably a little shy even. Last week, it was only 400. And everybody said, oh my God, that is way too low. Double that at the very least. Now, every Sunday I do a water change. I've been keeping this maintained at around 800 this whole week. So in a couple days, when I do a water change, I'm going to bump that up to about 1,200. Some people have said up to 1,500. I don't know. I've never done this before. I'm scared to go too high. I feel like it would almost be better to be just a little shy than a little over. But I don't know. I just don't know. I haven't had much practice at this kind of stuff yet. So this is just, I'm trying to pick the middle of where everybody says. They say, oh, so I'm going to pick pretty close to that. Anyway, raising the ppm up did a couple of things. Number one, it stopped whatever deficiency in its tracks that was happening. Whatever I seen happening has vanished. That curl up of the leaves that we were getting and those little bit of rust spots has completely stopped from me changing this, doing a water change, adding more CalMag, and just straight up doubling the frickin' nutrient regimen. And it just exploded. Everything exploded so hard that I had branches that were almost touching my light. This back one here, I'll show you in a second, was almost touching the light. It went through a huge stretch. Everything took a big growth spurt, and I had to do some major tying back, and I almost broke a branch, and just a whole bunch of stuff here. So come on in. Let's go take a look now. Let's go see how everything's looking. So first off, even though it looks kind of like these two are the same things and then these are the same things, unless I planted wrong, which I do not believe I did, the back row should be both, these two right here, should be Super Lemon Haze from I Love Growing Marijuana, ILGM. And then in the front row here, we've got Alien versus Triangle from Mephisto, purchased through Coastal Mary Seeds. Look up Coastal Mary Seeds on Google and use my name as a code, Cannabeard25. Save yourself 25%. They got lots of stuff, man. Anyway, these are Mephisto genetics. I've been a big fan of them for a long time. Alien versus Triangle. And as you can see, this one right here got really big, and it's kind of hard to show. If I get in here at the right angle, I might be able to show you. So there's a rope up here. This is the top. The top was way up here like this, and I kind of like bent it at a whole bunch of different spots. So the stalk, the main stalk, curves over like this, and then it curves back up like this. So this is the actual center cola, if you will, even though it's off-centered now. This is probably the center of the plant over here. So it's been pushed over quite a bit. It's kind of hard to sort of demonstrate that, but it did sort of create a more even top. And same thing with this back one here. I had to pin some against the wall there like that, and I had to yank that one way over like that because it was just getting too tall. Look at this. They were up here. They were almost touching the lights. So I had to take the tallest of them and bend them over. And yeah, this is the growth that we're dealing with right now. I'm really, really, really excited. Down here was the one with the marigold that was in there, and I nuked When I sprayed everything, I sprayed underneath all these grates really good. I made sure, because that's where the kind of bugs would live for sure. As they would live in there and then crawl up wherever they could, wherever there's not much airflow. And that's why I sort of changed my fans around. I'm trying to get a far better airflow going on here. Everything seems to be flapping around pretty good with this new setup anyway. For now, I'll keep an eye on it, like I said. But upping the nutrient cycle, like I did, made everything fucking explode. No shit, Sherlock. But I'm impressed. I'm really impressed at how this is filling out, man. These things are such a pleasure to grow with. Oh my goodness. And I took your guys' advice and I swapped it over to 4 times now. So it was at a 3-time cycle, 3 waterings per day. It is now 4. So every 6 hours it does a watering. I might still up that again. There's even a possibility of trying to make it up to 6 waterings. I've been told you can go up to 10 waterings with these things. I was talking to the fellow that sent these to me, and he was telling me stories of, basic, the best medium to use, the best ratios of medium, which is 2 parts COCO, 1 part perlite, and some timing suggestions and stuff like that. And then you guys told me that I was probably overwatering during the beginning, and they are definitely drinking up whatever I'm giving them. On that note, speaking of drinking up whatever I'm giving them, they are literally drinking water. I am watching about 1 gallon to 2 gallons a day disappear from my reservoir. If you look into the reservoir here, I don't know how well it's going to show up. Let's see here. Oh, nope. Don't do it that way, maybe, and I might be able to get it to work. Yeah, you can see the water level right there. So it's just above that notch at the moment. But it goes down plenty below that notch. And it's actually supposed to be a bit higher already, but I just watered it yesterday. Every day it's drinking about 1 gallon to 2 gallons of water. Just consumption. So the water level is dropping. And as I add more water, I need to add more nutrients to keep my ppms at approximately the same. And it's been working pretty darn good, I must say. I'm impressed at how much they're actually consuming as I watch the ppms drop and the water level drop. And I have to add more in midweek. I'm like every couple days, as I add new water, I'm adding more nutrients to the cycle. To make sure that those ppms stay up where I need them to be, and we're gonna go up again next week. Yeah, I'm loving this setup. Oh my god! Hello Jefferson, welcome. Haywood, hey, welcome. Yeah, it smells amazing in here too already, which is that always kind of blows my mind. Is like when you even in early flower, like these things stink. They are dank, stank-a-dank. I almost don't have enough room for 6 pots in here. That's kind of interesting, because if you look here, they're almost touching the wall here. I mean, they might even be touching the wall a little bit. Yeah, like just the littlest bit, you know what I mean? You don't really want the plants touching nothing if you can help it. I've always tried to keep enough space. I found whenever anything's leaned up, pushed up against something like this, you can encourage rots or anything like that. It went hydro, huh? Sort of. This is all cocoa and water. Here, this thing here is the brain and the leveler, so the water gets sucked into here and levels off, and then all the pots level off to the same level. There's a bunch of float switches in here so it won't overflow. It gets up to wherever I set it, and then it just stays there for 15 minutes and then floods it. So it's a flood and drain system. I'm not really 100% sure. Is that hydro? Let me know in chat there. I'm actually unsure on what this is classified as at this point. Is this hydroponics? I guess it would be if it's an ebb and flow or flood and drain hydroponic system. It's water. It's hydro. I guess so. I don't know. But yeah, I freaking love these things, man. AirCube, motherfucking AirCube, man. if you can afford these things, if you want to try them out, man, I got links and a discount code in the description below. I cannot say enough good things for these. Yeah, the link is in the description below, my man. Yeah, these AIRCUBE systems, man. I am a big fan from the company called GrowAce. Like I said, about a year or so ago, they approached me and tried to get me to grow with this, and I didn't really want to. I wasn't really interested in doing any water grow. And then I did that MARSHYDRO deep water culture bucket, and I kind of discovered that it wasn't as scary as I thought it was. And as a result, I decided to take them up on their offer, and they were super excited to have me on board. And yeah, just like that. And speaking of like partnering up with people and stuff like that, I want to talk about a contest thing. A contest. It's a giveaway. I don't know if you want to call it a contest. But the wonderful folks over at HygroZyme, right here. This stuff right here. So this is a growing enzyme. Something really, really important. Dare I say a must-have for hydroponic. If you're dealing with water, I think you need this stuff. I do. So is what this does is this helps break down dead organic matters. So the slime won't build up, root rot won't build up. It breaks down the things that contribute to these slimes and root rots and stuff like that. It helps keep your systems just doing their function and breaking down things at a rapid pace, breaking down the organics. So from what I understand, it's basically a must-have. I'm super excited with this stuff. It did save me from a root rot issue that I had with straight-up deep water culture buckets, and I'm using it in this grow as well. It's been, I'm sure, help keeping me safe. You know, helping keep anything from growing in here. I do a big scrub down every water change with the sides of the walls with a cloth and scrubby thing. But still, this thing right here is ensuring that I'm not getting any weird root rot issues, because I can tell you right now, I cannot keep my water temperature below about 79 Fahrenheit. The water temperature, no matter how hard I try, it wants to balance out at about room temperature. And room temperature in here is about 80. So it sits out about maybe a degree under 80, and that's it. And there's just nothing I can do about it. It just, I put in a big 2-liter bucket, bottle of ice. It brings the temperature down for a couple of hours, and then it rose right back up. There's just nothing that can be done about it, except this. This here makes sure that those conditions don't start causing some bad issues. So, on that note, I'm doing a giveaway right here with the wonderful folks over at GrowZyme. Now, this might bum a few of you out, but it is over on Instagram. This is not a YouTube giveaway. You need to be following me and HygroZyme over on Instagram in order to enter this giveaway. It's pretty simple. Just go in there, tag a couple of friends on my post on my page, and you know, you can share it for some extra bonus points if you want. It ain't gonna hurt, I'll tell you that much. Anyway, for the next week, we're gonna be giving away this awesome grow package with some merch and their entire lineup of products. So if you wanted to check them out, now's your chance, for real. Super, super cool. So go over, that's Cannabeard Grows, @ Cannabeard Grows, and @ GrowZyme, or HygroZyme. Links are in, I don't know if there's links to my, I think there's links to my Instagram and stuff in the thing. Otherwise, just search my name, Cannabeard Grows, all one word. You'll find me on Instagram, as long as you got a signed-in account. Okay, I think maybe one more for the road. It is humid in here. Now that I'm standing in here for a little bit, I'm feeling the humidness. I'll have to keep an eye on it too, because I might have to get a dehumidifier in here to keep the humidity at a proper rate. it's going to be near impossible keeping humidity at a low rate in a room full of a water bucket. I can close the lid like this. We can zip it up. You know, you can put fans down here, and I could stick a dehydrator in the middle of the room and run it, but it can only do so much. There's only so much you're going to be able to do when you're dealing with water like this. Cheers. Oh, wow. Whoo, doggy. Yeah, I'm getting sticky in here. It is high 70s relative humidity in here. That's, I think I might have to frickin' pull that dehumidifier in here after all. High 70s is a little much. Again, I'm blaming some of it because I did a big spray down in here. I don't think it was quite that high. I think it was maybe 60s prior to that. I don't know. I'll work on it. I'll dial it in. I'll keep it going. Oh, that's 2 dabs in the pipeline. That's about all I got for today, I think, folks. I don't know what else to say. Absolute explosive growth by raising my parts per million up to, you know, probably still under what everybody said I should. But I'm going to raise it up again today, or sorry, this weekend, pardon me. And I'll bring it up to about 1,200 or something. It's at 800 now, so at least 1,000. At least 1,000. Maybe I'll meet it in the middle and say 1,100 or 1,000 or something like that. And we'll see how it reacts. If it wants more, if it still feels like it's drinking everything I'm giving at it, then I can give it some more, you know? I just don't want to overdo it, and yeah, I don't know. I'm new to this territory, so I'm definitely excited, but a little shocked at how well it's filling out. It's yeah, that's a lot of that big back tree there is going to be a lot to frickin' harvest. That thing's going to be huge. Yes, it's my Super Lemon Haze. I love that strain. I'm excited to get like a frickin' God. I don't even know, man. I tell you, I haven't had a grow look this good in a long time. It's been a while. I've been having increasing problems with soil. And I think what it really boils down to is I think maybe I've been creating a slowly more and more saturated nutrient soil to a point where some of my soil mixtures are so hot that the plants just die in them. And I think that's really what's going on. I think organics or not, I've got soil that's got so much in there that it's just too much for the plants to handle, and they just die. I've been having some problems lately with some of my soil mixtures, and it's because I reuse my soil all the time, and I definitely do not or have not been rinsing them, like flushing them appropriately. So I might have, that might just be a problem I'll have to solve by buying new stuff, I guess. I don't know. I can slowly weed that or add that to the gardens or something like that, my current pile. But I definitely have had problems even in my greenhouse. I'll be doing an episode soon talking about that. But yeah, the greenhouse, man, what a freaking bummer. I don't want to get too deep into that, but you've had some fire weed for like 3 grows ago. I've had some really good, some grows lately, but I've definitely been playing with like new mediums over the past couple of grows, and that's really like done some strange things to my grows. But I have definitely gotten some really nice results. I'd say mixed results are really the reality of it. One of the other big problems I have constantly is growing mixed seed. I only got 6 trays here. I should grow all 6 the same strain, is what I really should be doing. They'll grow more evenly. They'll take the same nutrient cycle a lot better, but trying to expect 2 different strains to accept the exact same everything cycle conditions and hoping that both of them grow at their peak is kind of asking a lot. So unless you individually are watering things differently because of you're using different cycles or different strains. It's really probably best to grow all at once, one strain at a time, if you can afford to do that or have the means to do that. Makes more sense anyway. Anyway, your mustache looks like fangs. My mustache looks like fangs. It's probably my lip rings, yo. Anyway, that's about all I got to say for today. Thank you very much for hanging out here with me on a Friday evening. You know, you have probably better things to do than to hang around with old Cannabeard looking at weed and talking about some weed, but hey, right on. Like the video if you did like the video. Hell, if you hate the video and you're just here hate watching, give me a dislike, man. Come on. Be active, at least, if you're going to just sit here and hate watch. I don't think there's many hate watchers, but don't forget to go check out that Instagram giveaway that we got going on for the Growzyme. Follow me on Twitch. I've been playing Fallout London, that brand new mod for Fallout 4. It's kind of amazing. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's something. It's very different. So if you want to see that happening, follow me on Twitch. I'll probably be on later on after dinner. Yeah. Have a good Friday, everybody. Cheers.